Hello everyone, you're watching AMN Plus. This is our weekly program, Diplomatic Corner. Today I'm sitting with the Russian ambassador to Ethiopia, Evgeny Trihon. I've met the ambassador in connection with the commemoration of the Russian Victory Day. Stay with us. Thank you so much for your time. Really, I appreciate it. Just to give us reflection about the two countries' relationship, about the victory days, the commemoration, the Russian Victory Day. Russia is celebrating Victory Day. There is a military parade held in Russia, and of course missions in different nations. Russian missions also commemorate this day with different activities. My question is, what does this Victory Day mean to the Russian people?
Thank you very much for visiting us on the eve of this auspicious and I can say sacred day for all of our people. Answering your question, first of all, Victory Day on May 9 remains a sacred symbol of national unity, honoring the memory of 27 people of Soviet lives which were lost during the struggle against Nazism. We honor the extraordinary courage and the immense sacrifice of all peoples who contributed to defeating Nazi Germany. Second, this historic triumph not only liberated Europe from tyranny, but also established the foundation for a more equitable international system based on principles of sovereignty, collaboration, and mutual respect, the values that continue to guide Russian diplomacy today. This year's 80th anniversary celebrations in Moscow will host 29 world leaders, including Ethiopian President, His Excellency Ambassador Taye Atske-Selassie, with military contingents from 13 nations participating in the parade on the Red Square. For Russians, the day transcends historical commemoration. It as well embodies resilience against modern threats to sovereignty and truth. Here at the Russian Embassy in Addis Ababa, a solemn reception and immortal regiment procession when participants march carrying portraits of their relatives who served during the Great Patriotic War, aiming to preserve the memory of war veterans and celebrate their contribution to the victory, will reinforce the unbroken bond between generations, preserving the memory of shared anti-fascist struggles.
What role does it play in shaping the Russian national identity right now? So the victory itself and the commemoration of the victory, I think Russia has been commemorating this day, I think throughout the years, since the 1945. So what is that, the role the Victory Day plays and the commemoration plays in shaping the national identity of Russian people?
I'm sure that in the history of every nation, there are certain events which cement different people into one nation. For us, one of these immortal events is Victory Day over fascism. We are still celebrating it, and I am sure we will continue celebrating it for ages. Because for us it is really a sacred day. As President Putin has mentioned, by the way, this memory about those who struggled against fascism is the essence of Russia's multinational identity. So we are unified by the memories about our common struggle against fascism, which saved our people from total elimination, which was planned by German fascists. So you may understand how valuable this day is for each Russian citizen.
It is obvious that there are conflicts, tensions, and crises across the globe, and it is just mainly from the act of governments and groups to just maintain their interests. What is your message to just the world in connection with the celebration of this Victory Day?
Well, Russia urges global solidarity against neo-Nazi ideologies which are resurgent now in certain countries like in Ukraine or in some places in Europe. Our Foreign Minister Lavrov recently warned that forgetting history's lessons risks repeating tragedies. We can't afford it. We can't afford it, especially in the modern world, which is overpumped with arms, destructive arms. But at the same time, it's regrettable to witness how certain blocs like NATO are militarizing other countries like Ukraine, using them as an instrument against their former brothers and allies. Actually, Victory Day underscores the imperative of multipolar diplomacy over bloc confrontation. As our president, as you know, our president has declared a 3-day truce over the conflict in Ukraine, thus proving our adherence and commitment to peace through dialogue. We believe that in any place of the world, dialogue should prevail over force. And we hope that other peoples are believing and trusting this.
Ambassador, we're still talking about the Victory Day. Ethiopia, as you know, celebrated its own Victory Day a week ago. And the history of Ethiopia and the history of Russia in terms of defending their sovereignty, defending themselves from the aggression of just foreign invasions, it's somehow quite similar. So in this regard, I think you know the history of Ethiopia, that Ethiopians defended their sovereignty and fought against the invasion of foreign enemies, Italian fascists, and then maintained the further sovereignty of Ethiopia. So what is your take on that? And this current generation of Ethiopia has its own responsibility to get the country out of poverty. So what's your message to the current generation as well?
Well, Ethiopia's extraordinary resistance to fascist aggression represents a pivotal chapter in the global anti-colonial movement and anti-fascist movement. As the first victim of fascist aggression in 1935, Ethiopia demonstrated remarkable resilience against technologically superior forces. Patriots like Ababa Aragai coordinated resistance near Addis Ababa, while soldiers fighting at Maicho and Abi Adi endured horrific chemical attacks, yet continued to struggle. Even after the so-called Great Massacre of 1937, when over 30,000 of Ethiopian citizens were killed by the occupants, partisan groups, guerrilla groups like the one of Fikri Mariam, maintained their defiance. This 5-year struggle culminated in Ethiopia's liberation in 1941, establishing a powerful precedent that sovereignty could be defended even against overwhelming odds, a symbol that inspired subsequent decolonization movements across Africa. Today's, I would like to stress one very symbolic coincidence. Just a few days ago, on May 5, we have celebrated Ethiopian Patriots Day. And your Liberation Day is very close to our Victory Day, just few days difference.
Yes.
And I was honored to be present at this solemn occasion at Arad Kilo at Victory Monument Square, at which Ethiopian President Ambassador Taye was presiding. And today Ambassador Taye has arrived to Moscow to participate in Russia's Victory Day. This is really symbolic because it is showing closeness of our two peoples in the common struggle against common enemy. As we say it often in Russian, our two armies were fighting in the same trenches against the same enemy.
Well, Ambassador, let me take you to the other issue, which is different from this Victory Day. That's about BRICS. The foreign ministers of the BRICS, I think a week ago, convened in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro. And so one of the issues is addressing global and regional crises. So in this regard, what do you think the unique positions of the BRICS towards just bringing solutions or promoting dialogues in bringing lasting peace in the world?
Well, first of all, let us remember that initially BRICS was formed as purely an economic group of a group of countries with similar economies. But now it represents already a kind of diplomatic counterbalance to bloc-based approaches to conflict management and resolution, advocating for inclusive dialogue that respects the legitimate concerns of all parties, of all peoples and states of the world. As our Foreign Minister Lavrov said at this latest BRICS ministerial meeting, we spoke out in favor of further enhancing the contribution by BRICS and the countries of the global majority in general to address key international challenges. The Kazan Declaration, adopted by the 16th BRICS Summit in October 2024, reaffirmed the organization's commitment to strengthening multilateralism for just global development and security while promoting peace, a more representative, fair international order, and a reinvigorated and reformed multilateral system. BRICS's expanded membership now encompasses 46% of global GDP and 55% of the world's population, providing a platform where diverse perspectives can influence global governance. During Russia's 2024 chairship, we consistently emphasized that multipolarity can expand opportunities for emerging markets and developing countries to unlock their constructive potential. This philosophical foundation shapes BRICS' approach to conflict resolution by prioritizing diplomatic solutions over military interventions, respecting state sovereignty while advocating for humanitarian considerations and recognizing the interconnection between security and development.
Let's talk about the Africa-Russia relationship. Russia has been intensifying efforts to enhance the relation of itself with the continent Africa. My question is, how is evolving right now?
Well, first of all, let us recall one fact which nobody can deny. During the whole story of Russia-Africa relationship, Russia has never been involved in any colonial crimes on the African land.
Of course, yes.
Moreover, quite opposite, Russia, the former Soviet Union, after that Russia have always supported the independent development of African peoples and countries. Of course, our relationship with Africa has passed through ups and downs. Maybe it was inevitable because we are living in a whole world and we are always subjective to certain trends and events. And one of these events was the dissolution of the former Soviet Union, which itself was maybe one of the greatest geopolitical tragedies of contemporary world. Thus, this situation has deprived us of a chance to continue our relationship with Africa at the same high pace as previously. Because at that time, in the 90s of the last century, we were mainly concentrated on our internal problems, on overcoming our internal problems. But after that, step by step, while our economy was reviving, while our political situation, internal political situation was stabilizing, we could return to redevelopment of our relationship with African countries. I remember it sounded like a slogan at the first Russia-Africa summit in 2019, when many African leaders welcomed, as we called it, return of Russia to Africa. And it is really so. We are returning to Africa. While the first summit in 2019 was just a signal of our return, at the second summit in 2023 we were already looking at concrete measures, what should be done in the re-emergence of our cooperation, multilateral cooperation, multifaceted cooperation, and our common relationships. Many concrete plans were adopted, and now we are putting them into practice. So it is quite possible to say now that Africa constitutes a cornerstone of Russia's vision of a multipolar world, based on sovereign equality and mutual respect. The second Russia-Africa Ministerial Conference is to be held this year in one of African countries.
All right.
Continuing the annual ministerial sessions established in 2023 at the second summit. This institutional framework has yielded concrete results, with bilateral trade reaching last year $27.8 billion US, which is 13% more than the previous year.
Oh.
And nowadays, Africa constitutes about 4% of the total Russia's foreign trade. It's not as much as we would like to get, but it clearly shows a steady growth. As for Russia-Ethiopia relations, I can say that these relations exemplify this evolving partnership model. The historical foundation of 43 major Soviet-era projects provides context for current initiatives. In December 2024, Russia has elevated its Intergovernmental Commission co-chair to ministerial level under Economic Development Minister Mr. Maxim Reshetnikov, thus highlighting Ethiopia's strategic importance for our foreign policy in Africa. In April 2025 has marked another milestone with Rospotrebnadzor head Anna Popova recent visit to Addis Ababa, resulting in a comprehensive agreement with Health Ministry to provide state-of-the-art mobile counter-epidemic laboratories and specialized equipment to counter different epidemics. This approach reflects Russia's broader African strategy articulated in the Russia-Africa Partnership Forum Action Plan for 2023-2026, which aligns with African Union's Agenda 2063 and demonstrates Russia's conviction that Africa's development constitutes an essential component of the emerging multipolar world order.
Ambassador, thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, everyone, that's it for now. This week's Diplomatic Corner program. I have just talked with the Russian ambassador to Ethiopia, Evgeny Turkhan, about the Victory Day of Russia and the Victory of Day of Ethiopia. And of course, we've talked about the relationship between Ethiopia and Russia and the continent Africa. Until we meet you next week with another program with another guest, have a wonderful time.